Hello, and welcome to a special edition of Up Close on METV. I'm Charles Clapsaddle, Station Manager for Manatee Educational Television. And it's our great pleasure to have with us today Mayor Shirley Groover-Bryant, Mayor of the City of Palmetto. Mayor Bryant, thank you so much for taking the time out of what I know is a very busy schedule for you to talk about the City of Palmetto and all the great things that are happening.
Thank you, Charles, but as you well know, I'm always happy to talk about the City of Palmetto.
Well, you know, we see you out and about. The city is a very vibrant place, but there's some really great things that are happening in and around the City of Palmetto, and I'd like for you to share with our audiences some of the great things that are happening. One of the key things that I'd like for you to take a few minutes about is that the City of Palmetto is really becoming a vibrant place to do business. You have several large organizations that have moved in, have set up businesses, and are really going to contribute to the overall success of the city. Tell us a little bit about what those organizations are and what they bring to the City of Palmetto.
Well, not in this past year, we've had Manatee County Rural Health Services that has moved their corporate headquarters to the City of Palmetto, bringing in approximately 100 new employees. Wow. We also have an artist and a composer that has invested in the community, and his project is a little not as obvious as some of the others, but that will be coming on the radar screen very, very soon. Our latest addition to our business community is It Works, and they are a global company that they do internet sales and telemarketing sales, and they're very progressive. They've gotten several awards for the property that they've just totally renovated in the City of Palmetto, bringing in almost 100 employees in the first round, and in subsequent waves they'll be bringing in more and more employees. So the impact of these additional jobs in our community, it just spills over to all the restaurants and the service stations and the pharmacies and the grocery stores and all the ancillary services that we all use on a daily basis. So all of these different businesses that have joined the community, they've been very well received, and I see many of our businesses have reached out to them and sent them coupons actually for their employees to let them know and welcome them to the community.
Well, you know, it indicates to me, and I'm sure that this has been a long-standing policy of yours, is that Palmetto is a great place to do business. You know, with the addition of It Works and, you know, Manatee County Rural Health, and I think you have Early Learning Coalition moved as part of your downtown area. It is a good place to do business, and as for It Works, they've taken a beautiful property and made it even more, they've made it better by adding another floor and extending, you know, some of their operations. It's a wonderful thing to see this kind of vibrant dynamic happening within the city, and from your perspective, it's got to be, you know, a great thing.
It's thrilling for me to see the products that are coming to fruition from all the different hours that we've been developing different programs with our CRA, through our CRA board and our CRA director, Jeff Burton. All of these are coming to a head now. Several different things will be coming up in the next year. Certainly It Works added so much to the gateway to the community. Coming up in the next 60 days, we'll be starting the sign that will be the gateway to the city, and it'll have announcements of different events that are going on within the city. And then just across the road from It Works, we will be doing a major project. Will be a total renovation of the boat ramps, and it'll increase the access from 2 boats to 3 that will be able to launch there, and the whole area will be reconfigured. So the boaters are going to be ecstatic at the end of the day, because naturally what's going to happen as those islands are reconfigured in there, they can traverse with their trailers and so forth much more easily. So we have partnerships that, one of the missions that I gave to all of the department heads when I came into office was find grant dollars. And this is a prime example of that, because West Coast Inland Navigation District is a partner, and I think they're putting in $300,000. Southwest Florida Water Management District is putting in $250,000, and of course the city is providing the land. But with this project, it's not just single dimensional, it's multifaceted in the sense that not only is it going to increase the boaters using that facility and having a nicer facility for them to utilize, factored into all of our projects is the fact that we try to use low impact design and development, because that being in the proximity that it is right at the river, then all these factors that we create and incorporate into it, these features, will purify the stormwater, and so that's just a long-term benefit. Picture. Yes, it's not just, as some people go by and they may say, oh, this is going to be really nice for the boaters. The environmentalists will go by and they're going to appreciate the fact that this is an improvement of the stormwater, and it will be a factor for future generations.
Well, you've always been very cognizant of providing great resources and services to the citizens of Palmetto. So with the addition of a renovated boat dock, you're not only providing a greater facility, I mean, it's going to be safer, it's going to be more attractive, it's going to be part of that whole city landscape. And you're to be applauded for those efforts, which is really, you can never have too many boat docks, I guess. But utilizing the one and renovating is going to be a great addition to the city.
I think it's going to be tremendous, the impact that that's going to make. Unfortunately, there's going to be an inconvenience period, and we hope everybody will just bear with us, because you have to have some pain to have the gain, and this is going to be a tremendous gain for the whole community.
And I think it really will. I think it'll be a wonderful addition to it. But during the course of your tenure as mayor, there's been a lot of significant achievements, and one of those is I'd like to talk about, and I think you can see a little bit behind me, is the wonderful addition of Sutton and Lamb Park. And I'd like just to take a moment to tell you, first of all, congratulations for this achievement. It's really a significant addition, not only to the city of Palmetto, but to this entire community. Sutton and Lamb Park is really a landmark. Aside from the cobblestones and the sloping thing, you've added a pavilion roof to it, which is wonderful for concerts, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. But it's also wonderful for different events, and you've hosted many different events there since its initial construction. And it's a wonderful addition. Why did you want that to be just kind of a landmark for the city of Palmetto?
Well, it's a very historical site for us. The fact that it was named in honor and memory of Ben Sutton and all veterans. So we're very proud of that, and we really wanted to have a revitalization of that and a resurgence, and we wanted it to be the focal point for the community. And we feel like when we're all done with all the phases, it will be the premier park in Manatee County. We're so proud of it. We've got several awards on that. One, as you mentioned, as far as, again, the low impact design, so that the water attenuates very easily there. And also as far as the design of the brickwork in the park. So we're on our next phase of it now. This weekend, there's a lot of contractors subcontractors and so forth, that are working feverishly to finish the restrooms at Sutton Park.
Which is going to be a wonderful addition. I mean, it's a beautiful park and thing, and you've had such great attendance to some of the events, which we'll talk about in a moment, to enhance that with new restrooms is just a great addition.
And they're absolutely gorgeous. I think everybody is going to be just they're going to be very pleased to use these restrooms. I think for some of our coming events, we're going to probably cordon it off and use it primarily for the women's restrooms, and then have the different events that come there, have them bring in a bank that'll
And I think that's a well idea. But you know, it's so, even on when you don't have an event, the park is, you know, appreciated by all the residents of Manatee County. On any given day, you can see people or families there, you know, taking advantage, strolling, you know, sitting under the trees or playing on the playground. It's really a wonderful facility. And, you know, over the last 4 years or so, Sutton has hosted what I consider one of the Manatee County signature events is your 4th of July celebrations. And, you know, this was a concept that you originated to do a really wonderful 4th of July celebration, and you've been very successful with that. You've had some great artists over the years. Tell us some of those people that come to your mind.
Well, for this year, I'm really excited because the ones that'll be coming this year, Scotty McCreery, and he's an American Idol winner, and I understand that no matter the age, people are just so fond of him, and he has a voice that doesn't sound like it comes out of him. That's the way it's been expressed to me by several people. But we're very much looking forward to that. And also, we're excited. Goodbye Eddie's going to be there, and he's going to be performing. And if you don't, I know you know this, but he's one of our local judges.
And that's a great
Judge Henderson.
He's just absolutely very talented. And you know, you know, if that career in being a judge doesn't work out, he's got a career as a rock and roll musician. And
I think he thoroughly enjoys it. He seemingly does. But then, of course, at dusk, then there'll be fireworks on the Manatee River, and that's always a partnership with Manatee County and the City of Palmetto and City of Bradenton. So everybody gets to enjoy the fireworks. That's why we all partner on that. But there'll be a lot of events in the park and different things for the kids to do, and of course it's right at the playground. Yeah, and it's a wonderful event. You know, it's a great family-friendly type of thing. You know, but over the past few years, you've also been very, very successful at bringing people, you know, just for a joyous 4th of July celebration. In previous years, you've had Eddie Money, you had the Guess Who, you had the Village People, you've had Three Dog Night, and you know, people come there, and it's really a wonderful experience. And you know, and as I said, it's family friendly. Well, and you know, a lot of the reason that we do the 4th of July to the level that we do, we want people to come to Palmetto and understand why Palmetto is a great place to do business, why it's a great place to live, and there'll be materials on site that will be given out. I brought one of them with me. Hold that up so we can take a look at that. This is a fob, and basically it fits in the computer, and it tells you about all our incentives that we have for our Community Redevelopment Agency. And these will be available there. There'll be information on site that will be available to tell about our Community Redevelopment Agency and also the City of Palmetto. But we want people to come and experience what a wonderful community that we live in and enjoy every day. Well, and not only, and because of the success, I think, of your 4th of July celebrations and, you know, the family fun and the excitement that you've provided, you know, you've also had, for many years, have hosted the Children's Parade as part of the DeSoto Heritage Festival, and it's also a great event. You have judges, you have all these kids and all their families. It's a wonderful event. But because of the success of that, this year you actually hosted the Seafood Festival, which for many years has been held in downtown Bradenton. Yeah. But this year you hosted it at Sutton Park. Tremendous, overwhelming success. You had two big-time entertainers, Travis Tritt and Vanilla Ice, well-attended, family-friendly, great food, and no issues whatsoever with parking. People gathered over, estimates I said were, you know, close to 10,000. I think they probably exceeded that. And I have to tell you, it was interesting at first because some people would ask me, you know, where do you park and so forth. And it was almost laughable because one of our missions as far as our Community Redevelopment Agency is to make sure there is parking available. And we just added almost 100 spaces off of our 5th Street, which was a pilot project for the city of Palmetto. But part of that was, again, to add low-impact development parking lot. And so there was almost 100 spaces added there, but also there's space all around the park and open space to park and just using the business community itself. There was parking throughout the area. So it worked out very well. It was a wonderful day. It was so well attended. And I have to say the Hernando de Soto Historical Group, they were wonderful to work with. And they complied with everything. They were so amenable to, you know, the needs that we had. And I think they found it very successful because they're already talking to me about next year. So
and I think they should, because, you know, hosting it there has really turned, and, you know, it turned out to be a wonderful event. And specifically, since you've had the Children's Parade for many years, it's a destination location now for them, and we hope that they can continue to take advantage of. That's just one of the many things. And I know that you have, over the years, hosted a lot of Memorial Day, Veterans Day ceremonies, which are very near and dear to your heart.
Yes.
And those are very well attended. You've had speakers there. And it is that type of destination that really can utilize so many different aspects, you know, for whether it be for veterans or for a children's parade.
Well, and the pavilion is such a nice amenity to have right at Sutton Park, because as it works out, as the parades come by, that's usually the grandstand area that, of course, they can video from there, and they can talk about the different people that are in the parade and introduce them. And they always have, we use a lot of our local vendors, like we do for the 4th of July. The ones that will be coming in there will be a lot of those will be local vendors.
That's terrific.
And you know, we try to utilize all that and help the city of Palmetto with what we do. But at the end of the Veterans Parade, there's a lot of community things, and the Children's Parade, there's a lot of community things that are occurring in the park, and it's a safe area to have all these things.
And it's just beautiful too. And then the way that, you know, the landscaping is laid out and the access to it, I mean, it's just really conducive. And you've hosted so many different organizations. I know the Manatee Glens does its Walk for Life there every year and has been for many, many years. So it's really a wonderful facility, and you're to be congratulated for just making sure that, you know, it's there for the public to enjoy. And, you know, I think 4th of July is right around the corner. So tell us a little bit more about the specifics. What time does the event start? And, you know, what should people know about getting there for the event?
They need to be there by 5:30. And we'll be starting with the entertainment. We'll have the opening ceremonies and so forth. And we have a wonderful vocalist again this year, Pat Braun. And she has a beautiful voice. So she's going to be participating in the opening ceremonies, as will the commissioners and I. And of course, we always include our department heads, because I'm very proud of this team that I have working for the betterment of the city of Palmetto.
Well, let's take a moment and talk about your department heads. You know, obviously, you know, as the mayor, you can kind of have oversight in the leadership thing, but you've assembled a really good team together. And let's talk briefly about some of the team. Everybody knows Chief Rick Wells is your chief of police, and, you know, Jeff Burton is your executive director of your CRA. Alan Tusing is your public works director, and Jim Friedman is your city clerk. It's a really great team that works together to make sure all of these things that are happening throughout the city go off without a hitch.
They have a great camaraderie. We meet every Wednesday morning at 9:30. You can find us all together on every Wednesday, huddled together, trying to work out any issues that might arise. And when we're having major events in the park, everybody has a part of that, and making sure we have all the I's dotted and the T's crossed.
Excellent.
But it is a wonderful team to work with. As far as when an event's going on, Public Works they're on speed dial, and they're spiffing up the city and making it look good as usual.
No, absolutely.
And putting that extra little touch on it. And of course, Jim Freeman is our city clerk, and he does a good job for us keeping all the finances straight.
Of course he does.
And of course, our chief of police one of the things that I've always believed is the only way to have a successful community is to have a safe community. And he's been a wonderful addition, and he's made such a difference. And he has so many areas that he does outreach and works in the community, and is really making a stand for Palmetto and to keep Palmetto safe. And the residents feel very, very safe with him as their police chief. Excellent job, and I have to say I'm really proud of all the appointments that I made when I came in office. And another one that came a little bit later was Jeff Burton. He's our director of our CRA, and he's done a really good job for us. All of them have sought grants. That was one of the things I charged them with, as I mentioned before.
Find some additional money.
And that's what they've done, and that's why we've been able to do the things that we've done in the city of Palmetto. We've been able to leverage our money at utilizing grants from the different agencies. So that's been a great help.
Well, you know, one of the things I must say, you know, about your staff and your leadership team is that they're so well respected, not only within the community but outside of the community as well. You know, for the innovation and commitment that they have to providing services. And I know Chief Wells has done, as you've mentioned, has done so much on community outreach, community policing. You know, to really make sure that Palmetto is not only safe, but it's it's a place where you can bring your family, and have fun at the same time. So, and he's really to be congratulated for that. But if all of these things that we've just talked about, the influx of new business, like what it works, and the other large business, and the great events, and the beautiful area of the city, if that wasn't enough, that would be great. But you also are in the midst of, planning for additional services and amenities and resources for the city of Palmetto. And tell us a little bit about those, if you could.
Well, actually, we're working on, at the present time, we're under construction for Martin Luther King Park. Martin Luther King Jr. Park, and that's on 17th Street near the Youth Center, and that's a 12-acre site, and it'll be a passive park. We'll be doing that. It'll be in phases, but it'll be operational from the time that it's completed. And that's going to be exciting because it helps to clear up a lot of areas of overgrowth and areas that were just basically blighted. And it's going to be a nice amenity for the neighborhood, for the entire neighborhood and the city, because they'll have trails and they'll have a water feature, and so it'll grow and improve. So we're really excited about that. And
I think it's proven that adding a park to a community generates a lot of community pride for it, and it really makes that community a nicer place to live. And congratulations on doing that, because anytime you add a park, you add value to the community as a whole.
I think the community, just contiguous to the park, is very excited and looking forward to the opening of the park.
Well, and keep us apprised of that, so perhaps we can come down there when you cut that ribbon, when that's ready to open. We'll be happy to be there. But you also have another park planned, which is very exciting, and share that with us.
Yes, what happened, actually it started in the 1940s when the city needed drainage, and so they had an agreement of sorts for to drain property, drain water across this property to the river. And so that had transpired under this agreement from the 1940s up until 1985 when it was rescinded. So we realized that it was a brownfield property because it had had storage from the railroad on it for many years. So even at the time that the city did take possession of it, we knew it was an issue. But an agreement's an agreement, and you have to honor that. So at any rate, it wound up that we took possession of it, and we've had to do different types of mitigation through the years. So through some of the efforts of some of our consultants that we work with, and with Jeff Burton, we've come up with a plan that we'll be applying for an opportunity with working with the DEP, that we'll go ahead and do the mitigation there and convert the 2.1 acre site into a dog park.
Oh, that's
and
so
we're
cool.
hoping that it'll be large enough to have a large dog, small dog
area.
and we're working with the contiguous property owners, West Coast Tomato, because to make it so it lies correctly as far as the correct drainage. And there will also be some features there that will improve, yet again, we always look at the big picture, the storm water quality that will be going into Manatee River. So we'll help to purify the water. It'll be better than it is now. And so we'll remove this as a problem and make it a true asset for the city of Palmetto.
Well, you know, I think that's part of your vision and everything, is to take something and make it better and improve upon, you know, the existing features that have. And you've done that, you know, consistently, you know, throughout your tenure, and you're really to be congratulated on that. And having a dog park in a city really brings families together. It's a social place where you can enjoy your dog running around, and I think that is going to bring added benefits to the entire city. So congratulations on that, and keep us apprised of when that's scheduled to do, because I think that would be a wonderful opportunity for all the residents and not residents of Manatee County.
And you know, one of the things we're looking to do in our parks, we've negotiated down to an agreement now. We're going to be putting Wi-Fi in the parks. So those that have accounts with that company can access, and those that don't can sign in, and they'll be billed for their time there. So we have, with the addition, when we do have the dog park, we'll have 12 parks in the city of Palmetto.
That's
Most
wonderful.
of those will have Wi-Fi accessibility. That's going to be coming online before the end of the year, is our anticipation. So, because we want the parks to be utilized, and we want to be a family type community.
Well, Mayor Bryant, you've certainly done so much, you know, for the city of Palmetto, and also have done so much for this community. You really developed Palmetto into a business-friendly environment. The features that you've incorporated into the city of Palmetto for families, for individuals to enjoy, the boat ramp, the parks, the dog park and things, are all part of that vision to make Palmetto just a wonderful city to live, work, play, and raise a family in.
Thank you.
And as we kind of wind down here in the next 3 minutes, what would you like the community to know about Palmetto and its vision, and where you would like to see this perhaps in the next 2 to 3 years?
I would wish that if people haven't been to Palmetto, or they haven't been there in a little while, I think they need to come take a look at what Palmetto really is and what Palmetto is really about. I hope they'll join us, if not for the 4th of July. Come for one of our Friday night, first Friday of every month, we have Movie in the Park with free popcorn and soda. We are a child-friendly community, family-friendly community. We're a strong business community as far as we support our businesses. We support businesses that come in. If someone's interested in investing or moving to the city of Palmetto or opening a business there, we have storefront grants. We have different opportunities through our CRA for construction and to help them get set up in the city of Palmetto. So we are a smaller community, so we can usually work things through the tunnel a lot quicker than a larger community, so to speak. So being smaller is a real asset many times. So come and give us a look and see what a wonderful community Palmetto really is.
And aside from that, and I just might mention it, Palmetto is a beautiful city. It's got some really wonderful homes, some wonderful facilities around there, and you know, it's got places where you can sit and relax, great restaurants, and things to enjoy, not only for individuals and seniors, but you know, also for a family to enjoy as well. You've done a tremendous job with the city of Palmetto, and there's so much more to it than we could even talk about in a brief 30 minutes today. But I would encourage people to come and enjoy a 4th of July, or come and walk down by the river and see what Palmetto really has to offer. And if there's any indication, companies like Manatee County Rural Health and It Works are finding Palmetto is not only a great place to do business, but it's a fun place to be as well.
It truly is, and I have to say I have a good commission that I'm working with, and I have a great team of department heads, and they've all helped to bring Palmetto to the point it is today. And I think Palmetto is different than it was a few years ago, and I'm very proud of the accomplishments that we've made. So Come give us a look.
And and I'm sure people will definitely be there. It's continuing to grow, and you're to be congratulated for all the great efforts that you've made. Mayor Bryant, thank you so much for joining us today and taking the time out of what I know is your very busy schedule to talk about the great city of Palmetto.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I always enjoy visiting you and always sharing about the city of Palmetto.
And thank you for joining us on this special edition of Up Close on METV.